Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to our semi-annual industry meeting. We're all very excited that we have such a great audience today. Today we have a pretty packed schedule, so I'm just going to run through our agenda and then we'll get started with Alexa Jeffers. Starting out, we're going to have Alexa Jeffers speak about general updates, and she'll welcome some of our new staff. Next up, we'll have communication protocols with Marie Maswi. Then we'll have Robin Thompson speaking about some updates to the semi-annual reporting updates for service coordinators, and she'll also be talking about the new final previous participation rule. Then next up we'll have Sapna Talati. She'll be speaking about updates to the Chapter 9 rent comparability studies. Next we'll have Jim Raymond speaking about utility benchmarking, the EPA portfolio manager, the PACE program updates, and the homeless preference. And finally, we'll be finishing up with Bob Dutra with IT updates. So we have, as I said, we have a pretty full schedule. So we're going to ask that any external stakeholders send their questions to sfincoming@hud.gov, and then we'll have those questions be routed to the appropriate personnel. Okay, thank you. So now we're going to get started with Alexa Jeffers.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I think most of you know me. I'm Alexa Jeffers. I'm the Asset Management Division Director here in the San Francisco Regional Office for the Multifamily West region. And as Amanda said, we have a really busy schedule today. So before I get into the meat and potatoes of the presentation, I want to just run through some housekeeping items. So as Amanda pointed out, we do these meetings twice a year, so it's been about 6 months since we spoke to all of you. And since then, we really are excited to see such great participation, both in person and online. I know we've had a few hundred views from our web broadcast, so that's very cool. Thank you for all the participation, those watching remotely. And we really want these to be successful and to be valuable for all of you. So to that end, we asked last time for feedback on what you wanted to see covered from the last meeting to this one, and we got a lot of great input, so thank you for that. And I just wanted to quickly go through some of the feedback we got and let you know how we're going to be covering it and when. So one of the big areas of feedback we got was around communication protocols. So everything's different now. We've gone through this big restructuring. How do I send my requests? Who do I talk to? What's the escalation path? How do I know who to contact? What do I do if I don't get a response? How long should I expect to wait to hear from somebody? All those are very, very valid questions, I think, and very typical when we've gone through a big change and a big reorg like we did last year. So Marie Maswi, as Amanda mentioned, branch chief, is going to cover a lot of that in her presentation. She's going to walk through all the communication protocols. So as Amanda mentioned, if you don't see, if you have questions from that, if you're watching online, go ahead and submit your questions to SF Incoming, or we also have a new protocol for submitting questions here that I'll go over in a minute. The other thing we heard about in our feedback was PBCA processing protocols. So I think, as you all know, we're a lot bigger now. We changed. We have 6 states in our San Francisco regional office. So we're dealing with some new PBCAs. And one of the goals of our transformation is to have consistency in all of our procedures. And to that end, we've been really working with all of our PBCAs, and I see some of our PBCA partners here. We've been really working with all of our PBCA partners to be proactive and to identify discrepancies and areas where there are differences in how our different PBCAs in our 6 states are processing requests. And so what I can say, and you've heard me say this before, and I'll say it again probably before the meeting's done, transformation is a process. Consistency is a goal that we're striving towards, but we're still working through that process. So I think what I can tell you is that Danny Dadios, who I think is here, Danny, somewhere. There he is. There he is. Danny Dadios, who's still serving as our comm for the present time, he has assured me that all the messages that are being given to all the PBCAs in our 6 states since transformation wrapped up are consistent, so they're all receiving the same communications going forward. And then, as I mentioned, for anything that's in the past, we're working on identifying those and addressing discrepancies. So if you see something that's making you crazy, that you really want some kind of input or feedback on, let Danny know, and we can share his contact information, or let me know, and we'll bring it up and we'll work on it with our PBCAs. The last thing is, a lot of you have been asking, when is the management fee memo coming out? It's been a while. So that's another transformation thing. We've been working actually on a new management fee memo that sets management fee guidelines and caps for the West region since last year when we started transformation. Since we are one West region now in the San Francisco regional office, we've been working with our satellite office in Denver to come up with a set of management fees that show a consistent approach and methodology towards how the fees and the caps are calculated. So the good news is it's been a long process, but it's actually in final clearance right now, and we're expecting to have something released next month. So the wait will be over very soon. So with that, there we go. Before we get into our West Region updates, I just want to share some general headquarters updates because I think, as everyone knows, it's been a big year for the federal government, a big year for HUD, lots of changes with the new administration coming in. So I just wanted to share some information about that because I know we get a lot of questions. So on the leadership side, I think everybody knows by now that we have a new secretary in place. Secretary Ben Carson was confirmed and began at the department last month. So in the meantime, while they get the new leadership in place, some folks in headquarters have been shifted around to provide coverage until the new leadership under Secretary Carson is announced. So I'm just going to talk about a few major positions. So Janet Goldrick, the Associate Deputy Assistant Secretary for Housing and Federal Housing Administration, is currently the Acting Deputy Secretary. At the housing level, Ginger Charles has remained in her position as General Deputy Assistant Secretary, so Ginger is running the Office of Housing for now. And then at the Office of Multifamily Housing, Bob Iber, who you may know was recently the Acting Director of Asset Management in headquarters, is currently the Acting Deputy Assistant Secretary of Multifamily. So that's the leadership in headquarters. The other big thing that's going on is the fiscal year 17 budget and the continuing resolution. Funding levels for fiscal year 17 are still under discussion on the Hill, and we have some hope that our rental assistance accounts will be fully funded at the levels requested, but we are also preparing for the possibility of flat funding under another continuing resolution. So what does that mean for all of you? For project-based Section 8, there would likely be an impact, but hopefully not a severe one. It's likely that a small number of contracts could receive only 11 months of funding from the fiscal year 17 appropriations rather than the full 12 months. So what that would mean is these contracts would be new allocations of funding for payments due in December of 2017 rather than in January of 2018. So this 1 month difference increases the likelihood and the possibility of payment delays as we wait for fiscal year 18 appropriations to come through. But we would work proactively to try to avoid any disruption. And for those of you that may have been affected, and remember, we had a similar situation at the end of the last continuing resolution in December of 2017. So we had some delays as we waited for the new funding to come on board so we could get those contracts funded. The Section 202 contracts would be the hardest hit under a continuing resolution since the requested amount was a significant increase in fiscal year 17 over what was funded in fiscal year 16. So HUD would make every effort to minimize that impact, but a significant shortfall could likely result in delayed renewal funding for contracts that expired in the first quarter of fiscal year 18. So these could eventually be paid from the fiscal year 18 appropriations, but some level of delay in completing these renewals and issuing payments would likely be unavoidable in that scenario. So the good news is that service coordinator funding would be minimally impacted likely under this scenario, and there shouldn't be a significant impact on the Section 811 properties since inflationary growth can be covered for those with carryover. So the final news on the headquarters general updates is about the PPCA rebid. So I know we've gotten a lot of questions about that as well from our PPCA partners and others. So I think most people know now that HUD is in the process of pursuing a new procurement for PPCA services. This is as a result of the litigation from the last time we tried to rebid in 2011, which was just resolved last year. HUD's now moving forward with a new procurement for our performance-based contract administrators, our PPCAs. Headquarters is working to put out the solicitation for new proposals for the PPCA services, but while we're waiting for that, we anticipate that the existing PPCAs will continue to provide services under their existing contracts uninterrupted, which includes the MORs, which I'll talk about in a minute. And Headquarters has let us know that they anticipate that the awards will be made for the new PPCA contracts later this year. HUD's also published a request for information and to solicit information and feedback and a separate sources sought request last year, and they've already received feedback and they're considering that as part of the process. So to protect the integrity of the procurement process, unfortunately, there's not a lot more detail I can share, and I'm sorry. This is the information that I've been provided by headquarters, but they have assured us that they're working diligently to ensure that the PPCA program can transition smoothly to the new process and that they should be making more information available soon. And then the last note is they said, please be sure to check FedBiz Ops to ensure you don't miss any notifications, which I'm sure you know if you're a PPCA. Okay. So that's all the headquarters stuff. So now we're going to get into some more of the meaty programmatic stuff. So I think you've all seen this slide before. This is the fiscal year 16 policy priority slide. We're still talking about it in fiscal year 17 because a lot of these things haven't changed. So this just gives you an overview of what the department's focusing on, and I'll walk through just some of the things we're going to cover today. So I'll share really briefly just some updates about the multifamily transformation. Hopefully this will be the last meeting you have to listen to me talk about the multifamily transformation because it is done. We're wrapping it up and moving out of it. And then we're going to talk, Robin Thompson, as we said, is going to share the new information about the 2530 clearance. I'll talk briefly about changes to 4350.1. Sapna Talati is going to talk about changes to rent comparability studies. And then Jim Raymond, one of our new branch chiefs, is going to talk about energy benchmarking, the PACE program, and the homeless program. So, transformation. We are happy to report that the multifamily transformation is complete. Yay! It's a big relief for us, and I'm sure for all of you. So we're already seeing faster processing times and a more flexible workload. But like a New Year's resolution or a new diet, we want to maintain good habits and continue to build and track our success and progress. So we want to make it easier to do business with multifamily as we move towards implementing best practices and being transparent. So those are really our goals: transparency, streamlining, and consistency. So I think everybody knows, but just as a quick refresher, we are now 14 states in the multifamily West region since we have transformed. We're the satellite, we're the regional office, we're the regional center in San Francisco, and we have a satellite office in Denver. So the 14 states are divided with the 6 states in blue being serviced out of San Francisco and the 8 states in green serviced out of our satellite office in Denver. This just gives you an overview of how big we are now here in San Francisco and the West region. So this is actually data for the entire West region. You can see we're now more than 5,000 multifamily properties with about 366,000 units. We do about $1.8 billion a year in subsidized contracts, and the unpaid principal balance amount on our insured portfolio is about $14 billion. So we're big. On the hiring front, this just gives you a glimpse of the org chart, and Marie will go into this more later. But the really good news and the exciting news in San Francisco Asset Management is that we are fully staffed in management now. So we have 6 branches of account executives and resolution specialists here in San Francisco, and all 6 of them we have leadership staffed for now. So that's really exciting. I'm really, really excited about the management team we have in place. And we're really everyone's well positioned now to move forward. So I think the only hire since the last time we got together is Jim Raymond. Jim, you want to come up here and stand in front of the camera? Although they're going to see you again in a minute. So Jim Raymond joined us from our FHA insured production team, and he's our newest branch chief overseeing a team of staff in Los Angeles and Las Vegas that handle the Southern California and Las Vegas portfolio. So welcome, Jim. There's Jim. Say hello, Jim. And then we also have a few new hires since we got together in October. So I want to introduce, on the account executive side, Marshall Scott. Where's Marshall? Gotta come up and say hi, Marshall. So Marshall Scott is one of our newest account executives. Say hi, Marshall. And he's on Marine Maswee's team, and he services properties in Northern California, right? Okay, I got that right. And next, John Pipp. There's John. Come up and say hi, John. John Pipp is a new account executive on Ramona Mitchell's team, and John services properties in Oregon, right?
Yes.
Say hi, John.
Right. Hello, everybody.
And last but not least, we're really pleased to have Elaine Charape join us as our newest program assistant. Where's Elaine? There she is. You want to come say hi, Elaine? Walk the gauntlet. So Elaine joined us from our Field Policy and Management Division. She's an excellent customer service representative, and she is our newest program assistant on Marie Maswee's team. So say hi, Elaine.
Hi.
Okay. Great, thank you. So while we've really had terrific success with our hiring, I do want to point out too that we're still not fully staffed. So our full staffing capacity in the West region is 163 full-time employees. We currently have 148 on board, so we're still about 10% below our full staffing levels. We were hiring through the federal hiring freeze. It was implemented in January, and we were affected by that. So while we've heard some rumblings that there might be some movement on federal hiring, and we're cautiously optimistic, we just want you to please keep in mind that we are not operating at full capacity, and we're operating with reduced staff. So we really appreciate all the support and patience of our partners and our stakeholders while we work through this time. And we really have been focused on streamlining and implementing new processes so that even though we aren't fully staffed, we're able to make sure that we're capturing our requests and we're providing you all a good escalation path and way to follow up. So this is just a high-level timeline of what happened with transformation. I won't go through all of it, but I just wanted to point out what's happened since the last time we met. So I think most of you know that during transformation last year, a number of our assets were serviced by Alpine, which was a third-party contractor that was servicing assets during transformation. Their contract ended last October. So as of October 2016, every single asset in our portfolio is serviced by a HUD staff person. So you should all be able to find out who your HUD account executive is. We have a website that lists all of that. Marie will go through that. We have communication protocols. But for those of you who may have been interacting with Alpine, we just want to make it clear again that Alpine is no longer in the picture. So you should be communicating with HUD staff now. And the good news is that means that staff have pretty stabilized portfolios now. We've divided up the entire portfolio, assigned it. People are getting used to their new workload. So you can start developing those relationships with your account executive again. As I mentioned, we were still hiring through the hiring freeze, so even though we had one round of hiring in 2016 and we had some official training during summer of last year, we were still onboarding staff even after the official training period, right up through the hiring freeze in January. So because of that, we've implemented a secondary round of training to bring our new staff up to speed, and we're in the middle of that right now. We're doing pretty intensive training with the new staff every week, and we're expecting that to wrap up in June. So again, just another request for patience while we go through this process. But I think we really are getting everybody into a good place. So MORs, I just wanted to talk really quickly about MORs because I know it's affected a lot of you. So I think everybody knows by now the PBCAs resumed MORs beginning of last summer under their ACCs, and they've been very busy conducting many MORs all throughout our portfolio. So this gives you a sense of the numbers. We've done about 730 MORs since we resumed them last summer. The bulk of those were in northern and southern California, but we've also done a number of them in Oregon, Nevada, Idaho, and Hawaii. So the good news is that the results of these MORs have been overwhelmingly positive. So you can see here, I'm going to try to use a laser pointer. Ooh, there we go. The green represents satisfactory MORs around the entire division. So that's by far the biggest portion. And then for the red, we have above average MORs. So you can see the vast majority have been satisfactory or above average. So that is good news. And then this just gives you an idea of some of the common findings that we've seen from the MORs. So they're probably about what you would expect: non-compliance with EIV, issues with waiting lists, subsidy calculation. And this has actually been raised. I talked at the beginning about doing a deep dive training after our next industry meeting. We were kicking this around as an idea for that deep dive training, is doing more of an in-depth presentation by one of our PBCAs on what the common MOR findings are and how to avoid them. So if that seems interesting to you, let us know when we ask for feedback, and we'll keep it on the list for a potential training. And then the last thing I want to talk about is just the Handbook 4350.1 changes. So I think we've talked about this before. Revisions to the HUD 4350.1 Asset Management Servicing Handbook have been in the works for a long time. I always say they've been talking about it as long as I've been at HUD. But it's pretty exciting because actually we started to see some real movement on this last year. So beginning last year, they started rolling out chapters to the multifamily drafting table, which you can see right here. There's a link. You can go find it online. And they're soliciting feedback from the industry on these chapters as they release them on a rolling basis. So you can go online, find the chapters that have been released. There's a worksheet for you to give feedback. And they've been rolling through a number of chapters. So they just closed 3 chapters for comment last month in March. including financial statements, defaults and assignments, and flexible subsidy. They have a few chapters approaching final publication, including releases and satisfaction, Section 8 pass-through leases, so some good meaty stuff there. And then they have 6 chapters coming up soon to the drafting table. So again, we can share all this information, all these links are active, so you can go and look online. If you haven't looked at the multifamily policy drafting table, I encourage you to check it out. HUD is getting more modern, slowly but surely, and they're using the internet more and more, so it's kind of neat that they're rolling out new policy online and giving you feedback for it now. So that's it. And the other thing I wanted to mention, Amanda made me promise to mention it, and then I forgot, so I'm going to do it now, is the new question format. So we mentioned, those of you watching online, if you want to submit a question, send it to sfincoming@hud.gov. Those of you sitting here in the room, we handed out index cards. So as we're going through the presentations, if you have a burning question, please write it down on your card. Please be sure to include your email address, because we're going to see if we have time at the end of the presentation. If we do, we'll answer as many questions as we have time to answer here, but if we don't, we'll follow up with you later after the presentation. So if you don't have an index card and you need one, raise your hand and someone will come bring it to you. All right, with that, I'm going to introduce Marie Maswi, our branch chief, who's going to talk about communication protocols.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alexa. Good morning, everyone. So I'm just going to go through our communication protocols. We talked about this in October, but we'll talk about it today. As Alexa mentioned, there were some questions around communication protocols. What I'm going to do is talk about how to submit requests, as well as how we process your requests internally here, and then how to contact account executives and branch chiefs when you have questions, as well as how to escalate any concerns that you have throughout the year. So first, as Alexa mentioned, Alpine is now out of the picture. HUD, account executives, senior account executives, and resolution specialists are now servicing 100% of the properties. So that does mean a more stabilized portfolio, and you know, there are some switches from time to time as we have to shuffle things around, but for the most part, this is a stabilized portfolio. And the communication protocols are the same as we discussed in October. So if your properties are located in Alaska, California, Hawaii, Idaho, Nevada, or Oregon, you're going to be sending an initial request for service to sf.incoming@hud.gov. And you don't need to BCC or CC anyone else. You can just be sent directly to sf.incoming@hud.gov. And there are some benefits to this as we see it. It's convenient for you because if you have multiple properties, you don't need to look up which account executive you should be sending it to. It's simpler. And then it also just helps us provide better customer service because we're able to track things in a more holistic and comprehensive way so that we can see all of the requests that come in and make sure that we are able to kind of follow those requests through to completion. So a reminder that you should be emailing your account executive directly if you have follow-up questions, if you forgot to attach a document to that initial email, or if you just have a question that's unrelated to a request for service, you can always continue to contact your account executive directly in that way. So it's just if you have an initial request for service, if it's a 9250 or a 2530, send it to sf.incoming@hud.gov. If you have a property in one of these other states in the West region, you can send it to den.incoming@hud.gov. So this is also a reminder that we know that our Seattle office, for example, has been receiving emails for some of the, I think, folks who were previously account executives. Our Seattle office is no longer servicing any properties in the West region, so it's best if we just follow these protocols because that way we make sure there are no delays in processing your request for service. So again, just always please send the emails directly to our inbox. We know that through this process there have been hiccups and we have heard your concerns, and so as a result we're working through them, and I want to address those right now. One of the questions that we heard was, can we hear a little bit more about your internal process? And so what our internal process looks like is we receive an email from an owner or an agent for a request for service. and that comes through sf.incoming@hud.gov. We have 4 program assistants in the San Francisco regional office who monitor this inbox daily. And what they do is they enter it into our asset management processing system. That's our own workload management system. And then they save your actual email into one of our shared drives. And our account executives have their own individualized page that shows them every single request for service that has come in through our centralized mailbox. And on a daily basis, they're able to go there, look at all of their requests. They're prioritized by due date, and they're able to access through our shared drive the actual email that you sent in. So they will see exactly what you have submitted to sf.incoming. They will process that request as they normally would. They'll follow up with you directly if they have questions, and ask you for more information if they need it. Some of you may have experienced that the account executive will say, I actually need more information before I'm able to process this request. Sometimes they'll just say, please send it in the next few days. And if they don't hear from you, they'll actually close out the request and actually ask you to resubmit it. That's just to make sure, again, that we're able to process things in a timely way once we have the full package from you. Then the account executive will send you the final documentation showing that your rent increase has been approved, and we'll close it out on our end as well. So that is what the internal process looks like. There has been questions too around processing time. We've received a lot of questions about that. The amount of processing time and the timeframes that we have vary based on the type of request. In general, you should be hearing from us within 30 days for all types of requests. If you haven't heard from us in 30 days, we ask that you contact your account executive or the branch chief. And so that's the next thing that I want to talk about, is how you can do that. So Alexa showed you the overall org chart that we have. We're going to make this available online to you. We're working on it right now. So within the next week or two, you should be able to see links to our org charts that show we have 6 branches and all of the account executives that fall under each of those branches with the contact information for each branch chief. And so we'll include this on the website so that you have this information. You can contact a branch chief if you have a question or concern about a property. In addition, we also, the way that our portfolios are divided out of the San Francisco regional office is that each branch chief has a specific geographic region. So, for example, Ramona Mitchell works with Oregon and Idaho. My team works with Alaska and Northern California. So if you have a property that is in one of our regions, you can also know that you can contact that branch chief, and we'll be able to get back to you if it's our property, or work with another branch chief to get you that information. So this will also be included online at the top of each state page, which I will show you in just a minute, so that you will have the branch chief information by state. So how can you figure out whom you need to contact? All of our signature lines, I think for the most part now, have a wealth of information at the bottom of them, including what Jim is going to be talking about, which is homeless preference and some of the EPA portfolio manager stuff. But also here where it says click here, it will take you to some information about account executive assignments. In addition, what Alexa has always pointed out, which is much easier, is if you Google HUD San Francisco owner agent. That is probably the quickest way that you will get to the account executive assignment page. So that's HUD San Francisco owner agent. But if you would rather, anytime you get an email from anybody at HUD, you can also just click here, and it will take you to the following page. So this is the multifamily on the left, the multifamily housing West Region page. And under multifamily housing resources, there's a link that says information of interest to property owners and management agents. And you'd click there. And then under account executive assignments on the next page, click under account executive assignments. And that will take you to a page that looks a little bit different than it did in the fall. It's all of the apartments listed by state. And so here's where if you clicked on Alaska and you clicked on this first state, at the top of that page in the next couple of weeks, once we get our website updated, it will say Branch Chief Marie Mosby, and it will give my email address so that you can contact me if you have a property in Alaska and maybe you have a request for service or you have a question or something's not being addressed. You can contact me directly and I can help you with whatever the issue might be. But again, once you click on that page, whether it's Alaska or California, it will give you the contact information of the account executive, both their phone number and their email address. So that is, I think I've hit most of the questions that I heard about communication protocols. Again, we ask that everyone follow the protocol. That's going to help us manage the workload on our end and make sure that we're able to be accountable for everything that comes in. And if you have any questions, please do email me. You can also, of course, write your question on a note card and I can answer it at the end of our meeting today, should we have time. So thank you all very much. Now I'm going to turn the presentation over to Robin, who's going to talk about a couple of things, including service coordinator requirements.
Good morning. Thank you. Wow. My name and everything. So first of all, just real quick, we're just going to talk about two things about service coordinators, okay? First, what has changed? Well, I guess we should go back because it says changes in reporting requirements. Well, what's changed? Very little, actually. The semi-annual performance report time frame has changed. Okay, so the reporting period used to be October 1st through March 31st and April 1st through September 30th. How many service coordinator project managers we have? Just one? Okay, couple. From now on, it'll be January. So what's changed? What? I'm going the wrong way. My bad. So now it's going to be effective January 1st, 2017. It will go from January 1st to June 30th, and then July 1st through December 31st. Okay. So what happens to October 1st through January 31st, actually that should be 2016. Do we just forget about it? No, we want to know about that part. So complete a report with that time period on the old HUD 2456. And actually, if you don't have it still, a lot of people have it downloaded. If you don't have it anymore, go ahead and cobble up the new one. That's fine. Just make sure you annotate what the actual time frame is. Okay? Easy peasy. And then you start with a new reporting date after June 30th. And everything else is the same. You have 30 days to report. Okay. So, how new is this new report? Performance report time frame. Here's a new form, and you can see up there they've changed the reporting period box. So it's all ready to rock and roll, except if you actually would go through to page 4 of the same document, it has the old dates in it. So somebody didn't read through. It's very new. I'm sure they'll get that fixed soon, especially now that I've pointed it out to everybody. Anyway, and if you have any questions regarding, and not just this, but any service coordinator questions, we also now have our grant specialists for service coordinator are in our Denver satellite office. We don't have that here locally anymore. So there's the contact information for those two individuals. And so if there's any questions and anybody doesn't have any note cards, there's some in the back room. I can bring you some later. So we're going to go right into, one more thing about, I do need to back up. One more thing I did tell the ladies in Denver I would mention about service coordinators. As we were talking about the continuing resolution, they are funding both grants and the, if your Section 8, or excuse me, if your service coordinator grant is paid for through your PRAC money or your Section 8 HAP money, they will still pay that through fiscal year 2017, but there will not be a cost of living adjustment for your service coordinator this year. Okay, so just so you know that it has to be budget neutral for fiscal year 2017 because we're under continuing resolution. Okay. All right. All right, now we're going to talk about the new apps guidebook. And this is going to affect pretty much everybody. It is actually came out as a HUD housing notice. 2016-15 came out in November of 2016. It is the new guidance. It supersedes all old guidance. And that includes the map guide, our processing handbook. There's actually 4 handbooks there that it is, making obsolete in terms of apps guidance, okay? And in addition, the previous participation handbook, don't look at it anymore, and the previous participation guidance from earlier notices. Anywhere that you had guidance previously about apps, flagging, previous participation, the 2530 form, this is it. Don't look at it anymore. Only 2016-15. Makes it a lot easier, so you don't have to keep going around and around. We used to have some that was for asset management and some that was for production, and no, wait a minute, it's an assignment. Do I use the asset management or the production ones? From now on, it's just the one, which is lovely for all of us. Okay. So what's covered? Well, I'm not going to go through this. Look for your thing in this list. I think it's there. And that includes hospitals, by the way. I know that's just out of Seattle, but if any of you have healthcare projects, that too, everything is covered. We just don't have time to go through all those. Okay, the key terms, there's some new key terms in this guidebook. They actually have names for things now, a triggering event. Now these are things that all of you have gone through in the past, I'm sure. Well, I know you have because you're here. But now they call it a triggering event. And it's basically if you come in a new project, if there's a sale or a TPA, a change in management agent, and one thing that I didn't add here, but a change in your board of directors, officers, because that's one that's missed quite often. That's now called a triggering event. Triggering event means we need a 2530. What's a specified capacity? Well, that's the entity or person controlling role in the project, okay? So that's the owner, management agent, FHA borrower, or the general contractor for our intents and purposes in this room. And then finally, we have the controlling participant. And these are the individuals who control the specified capacity. This must be a natural person. That's their word. I guess that's as good as they can do. But it's got to be a human being, okay? We have to have a social security number. We have to have a physical address, not a post office box, and a phone number, and actually an email address too. I don't know, maybe they're sending you birthday cards, but we do need the physical address. And it ultimately determines who is the controlling participant. So always keep that in mind. You think it's complete. Might not be, don't take it personal, but we might ask for more information, okay? Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, here's some more on the controlling participants. It's a long list, but it's basically things that you're used to. 25%, none of this has changed. Okay, managing members of an LLC, LPs, GPs, nonprofit boards of directors who are corporate officers. I wanted to stop on that for a minute because this is confusing. Since how many of you are nonprofits or are over nonprofit? Yeah, a bunch. It doesn't mean that every time you get new board members, they have to do 2530 clearance. It's any new board of directors who are also corporate officers. And that's defined by can they, just to make it real easy, if they can sign a check or sign a contract on behalf of the project, then we want to do 2530 on them. Okay? But pretty much every year when you have election of officers, we'd like to see the 2530. That's a triggering event. Okay, controlling stockholders, trustees, the rest of these. Do we have anybody that has a REIT? One. Okay, so we want the REIT. We want it for the REIT and all the officers. Okay, and any other person, like I said, that we say we want you to add in there, please add it. Okay, there are some exclusions, wholly owned entities, because the controlling participant, we're going to do them anyway. Shell entities, tax credit investors, this is a big one and a lot of people have asked about that. Yes, we know you don't have to do the tax credit investor. And passive participants. Boards of director members, that's the ones that don't have, they can't write a check or sign a contract. Those 25% publicly held companies, but the CEO is a controlling participant. So we don't want Facebook, we want Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. And mortgagees, PHAs, they're exempt, and any other person that HUD says it's exempt. Like I said, ultimately, we make the call. Okay. From now on, everybody's going to do an org chart. This is going to be a requirement for each specified capacity and each entity within the org chart as HUD requests. It's not as bad as it sounds. The org charts are now required for all the triggering events, and you must show all the participants, even those who are excluded, and you must include percentages of ownership. And don't forget to drill down to that natural person, please, except for the tax credit investor, okay? Oh, and by the way, I saw some people taking pictures and stuff, and that's wonderful, but this is your tax dollars at work, so I'm going to give you guys my email later. If anybody wants to email me and get a copy of it, you're welcome to it. Yeah. Okay. And there's more. Each specified capacity must be shown on a separate org chart, even if in the case of an identity of interest management agent. I know we have a lot of those, Mercy, Eschaton, EH, on and on. But the management entity, if it has a separate 10, we're going to have a separate 2530. Okay? And if you're not sure, you can always call us. Give us a call. Okay? And again, we probably will ask for more information. Okay. And here's your filing options. You want to do e-file or paper? It's up to you. Congress says we have to allow you to do paper if you'd like. The advantages of doing it online, especially with the new requirements, is you only have to input your previous participation once. Most of you probably know that have done an e-file. You put in previous participation, you put in ABC Inc., ABC Apartments, XYZ Apartments, and on and on. Those always stay with you until you break that link with that particular property, okay? So you only do it once. You have to list them once, but after that, they stay with you until you, pull them out, okay? The electronic org chart. Now, there is an electronic org chart. Actually, it's always been in there, but most people haven't used it because it wasn't required in the past, but now it is. And it prompts you all the required information. So what we were just talking about, where we need an address, we need the percentage and all that, it'll prompt you. So you don't miss anything. And again, the MORs and REAC inspections and everything, that's automatically updated for you as long as you have a link to that project. So you don't have to keep that up. And adding, so that whole thing with the board members makes it a lot easier too, especially if they're already on the board. Take the president, put him down as a member, and move a member up to the president. I know we do that a lot. And then it'll trigger that triggering event. It'll come directly to us, to your account executive. We'll get an email saying, uh-oh, we had a triggering event. We had a change in the board officers at ABC Apartments, and you're done. It's all in there already. Now you can use a paper one, and the advantage is it's better for a small organization. If you're a mom and pop organization with one project, that's the way to go. And guess what we want to see? It just is a lot easier. Like I said, it's paperless. We get emails. We do it electronically. We approve it electronically. It's so much easier and faster for everybody. Highly recommended to do the e-file. And refer to Part C of the notice. They have step-by-step instructions. So if it's your first time, no problem. Just go into the new notice. It'll tell you what to do. That's what the paper one looks like. That's just page 1, for those of you who haven't seen it. Okay, the approval process. So, no flags, no problems. How many of you have been flagged? You've had a flag in 2530, even for an hour. Nope. Wow, this is a good group. Okay, I guess the people that we want here didn't come today. Okay, if you don't have a flag, there is no problem, but if you do, HUD staff will review your comments and reviews regarding that. One of the most basic ones is failure to file a financial statement. The financial statement is late. That's a pretty common one. Below 60 REACT scores, another one that we get quite a bit. Okay, so we're going to access, if this happens, we'll assess the participant explanation to the flag. We'll decide whether the flag can be resolved, and typically we go ahead and resolve it, especially if it's something on that order. Once the issue's been mitigated, we will resolve the flag. That's how we've always done it in the past. Okay. Can a participant be approved with a flag? Yes. But HUD will condition or limit the participation or temporarily withhold a decision pending more documentation. And that's typically what we do. Or we require the remedy or outstanding violations to resolve the flag. That's usually what we do. We wait until it's been resolved because it's usually something minor. But I wanted to note, this is new. Under the new tiered flag structure, a higher level of staff approval or certain timeframes must be achieved to have the flag resolved. So depending on how high level the flag, and we'll talk about the flag tiers in just a moment, it might not be here in San Francisco that's going to clear this flag anymore. Okay. Who approves the participants with flags? So if you have a flag, who's going to approve that? Okay, so if it's a tier 3 flag, this is the new tiers, and like I said, we will talk about this. The local branch chief, if it's a tier 3 flag, the local branch chief in both production and asset management can clear that. That still happens locally. But if it's a tier 2 flag, it's going to go to the production division director or the asset management division director. So like, for instance, here in San Francisco for asset management, that would be Thomas and Prada. And then if it's a tier 1 flag, that's going to have to go to headquarters. And for reasons we'll talk about in a minute, probably won't be approved. Okay. So here's the disapproval of participants process. And basically, your account executive, or it'll come through the division director, will send you a notice, written notice of disapproval. The controlling participant then can request a reconsideration within 30 days. You have 30 days to appeal. HUD will notify the participant, and you have 7 days for any more information. Presumably when you ask for reconsideration, you're going to send us the reason why you want it reconsidered. We'll have a 7-day window before we review for you to give us any extra materials that we request or you think come up with. And then it's going to go to either an official or a committee, and that's going to again depend on the level of the flag. And the reviewing official or the committee will modify the decision or will uphold it. And that would be the final decision. So there's one extra bite at the apple, and after that, that would be it. Okay. So that is also different. It used to be a little bit more nebulous. So who's responsible for the participant rejection and reconsideration? This one's also, again, it's completely streamlined. It's no longer, well, if it's production, it's this, and then it goes there, and from now on, whether it's production or asset management, the division director or their delegate disapproves, and the reconsideration or rejection is done in headquarters. One and done. Okay, let's talk about flags. And no one here has been flagged. It's pretty cool. Okay, the flagging system has been around. This has been our enforcement tool since 2003. This actually came out with apps. So the flags signify risk factor due to an infraction or a non-compliance by a participant. Real easy. Okay, a flag is placed on a controlling participant. Excuse me, I just got these invisible ones, so I'm sorry. Determined to have contributed to the violation. Then HUD notifies your participant, right? You're going to know if you get a flag right away. You'll get an email. Okay, they'll tell you you've been flagged. And HUD will not flag new participants. So this is something that we've come across a lot, where we ask a non-participating owner to bring in new management, and the new management agent is concerned that they're going to be flagged. because of an ongoing issue. That will not happen as long as the new participant, the new management agent in this case, is doing their job, then they won't get the flag as well. Okay. Nothing's new there. There was a major design flaw in the original APPS flagging system. There's only one flag for all the infractions. That's how it's been. Okay, so in the old flag system, if you fail to file a financial statement, like I said, that's probably the most common one. Failure to file a financial statement, you're flagged in the APPS system, and the flag is resolved by the local head office as soon as you remediate. So then, if an owner did a financial default on an FHA loan, the participant's flagged, and the flag was resolved by the local head office. And if you were convicted of embezzlement or fraud, you were flagged in APPS, and then the local office would close it. So it's kind of silly in that regard. So now there's 3 tiers, and we already talked about that a little bit, and they reflect the level of risk to the FHA insurance account. So a tier 1 flag is our most egregious. The participant is considered to be a significant long-term risk. These flags are permanent. Some future participation may be allowed under very specific limited circumstances, and they're actually enumerated in the notice in Part G, page 18. Okay? And lastly, if you have an LDP, a suspension of debarment, if you voluntarily abstain or exclude yourself, or if you have that conviction for fraud or embezzlement, it cannot be mitigated. You will no longer be allowed to do business with HUD. Okay? Now, tier 2 is a less egregious but significant violation. Okay, and tier 2 flags remain for 5 years, minimum 5 years. And some future participation may be allowed during that 5-year period, but they're very specific circumstances again, and they are enumerated in that Part G, and this is on page 19. And then with regard to a tier 2 flag placement, they have they talk about repeated offense, and that has been defined in this new handbook as a controlling participant has 3 or more violations of the same violation in 7 years. So the failure to file a financial statement once in 7 years, twice in 7 years, that's a tier 3 flag. If it happens 3 times in 7 years, it's a tier 2 flag, and it's a 5-year flag. Okay. Okay, and finally, we go to tier 3, and that's like the old ones. It's a single or less serious incident, failure to file a financial statement. Flags resolved and remedy is achieved at the local office. And in cases of FHA insurance, if the condition isn't met at the issuance of the firm, it can be made a condition of the firm. So you get a little more wiggle room with these. And again, there is specific incidence remedies on page 20 of Part G. Okay. So this is really well enumerated, and I think we're all going to appreciate the new system. Okay, so now in the new tier flag system, failure to file a financial statement is tier 3. It's taken care of here. But now that financial default, it's a tier 2 flag now. It's going to stay there for 5 years. And then the condition of fraud or conviction for fraud or embezzlement is tier 1, and we will no longer do business with you. And seems fair. Okay. If you need ongoing assistance, for technical assistance, you can call your account executive for technical assistance, and we will listen. And if you come to the office, we might buy you coffee, but we probably won't be able to fix it. So call them. They do have a technical assistance website, and they are actually very responsive. I've had to use them, and they're very responsive. They actually will call you back in most cases if it's something that they can't just go back and forth in an email. APPS questions specific to the guidelines. There's they also have an email site for that. You can always call us, your account executives, especially for the second one. If you just have questions about APPS input and so forth. Okay, and that's my email address if you'd like a copy of this PowerPoint deck, or if you just want to ask me a question in the future. There you go. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention.
Can you put the email back up?
Oh, sure. I know how to do it backwards really good. There you go. Okay. Everybody got it? All right. And next up is Satna Talati.
Hi everyone. I will be talking about the new Chapter 9 of the Section 8 Renewal Policy Guidebook. So in February of 2016, the department issued a draft copy of Chapter 9 and opened it up for public comment. The department received a lot of feedback from the industry, and we thank you for that. And we were able to use that feedback we received and issue a new Chapter 9, and that came out in December of 2016, and it's effective for any RCS dated March 1st, 2017 or thereafter. So why a revised chapter? Well, a lot of the feedback we received from the industry was that the chapter is not clear. We would appreciate if there was more guidance explaining these policies. So the revised chapter has a lot more clear guidance on the policies regarding rent comp studies. It also adds a lot of transparency to HUD's review process, which we understand is key. It also clarifies RCS alternatives. So there's some clarifications when an RCS may not be required for certain option renewals. And it also clarifies roles between HUD staff. So what is Chapter 9 for, in case you aren't familiar with it? So Chapter 9 is all about rent comparability studies. It can be found in the Section 8 Renewal Policy Guidebook. And it discusses how to complete an RCS, which is knowledge that an appraiser who conducts RCSs will need. It also contains the appraiser qualifications. It has explains how to review an RCS, and that's primarily aimed towards HUD staff and PPCAs. It also discusses timelines for when to submit an RCS, timelines for HUD's review of the RCS, guidance on how to determine if a HUD-commissioned RCS is required, how final market is determined when there's both an owner's RCS and a HUD-commissioned RCS, and exceptions to RCS requirements. And Chapter 9 is for a lot of different stakeholders. Our office uses it, HUD staff require it, PPCAs use it, appraisers need it, and owners and agents will also need to understand this chapter. I am going to skip this slide. And just more general, quick background. What is an RCS, in case anyone was wondering? It stands for Rent Comparability Study, and it's a tool we use to determine what the market rents at a property should be. And the Section 8 Renewal Guide defines market rent as the rent that a knowledgeable tenant would most probably pay as of the date of the appraiser's report if the tenants were not receiving rental subsidies. So it determines, the RCS helps us determine what the rent at a property would be if there was no subsidy involved and the property was freely available on the market. And when is an RCS required? It is required during contract renewals for certain options, and it's also required every 5 years during a multi-term contract, again for certain options. And in order to help owners determine if their option that they're renewing their Section 8 contract under requires an RCS, I've created this table, and it should help us figure out whether or not an owner needs an RCS. So under option 1, an owner always needs an RCS. Under option 2, an owner almost always needs an RCS, except if they meet one of 2 criteria, which I will go over at the end of this presentation. Under option 3, an RCS is not required. Under option 4, an RCS may be it is not required at year 1 when the contract is first renewed. However, if during the term of that contract an owner wants a budget-based rent increase, so that would be during years 2 up to the last year before the contract expires, they could submit a budget, and an RCS would be required to accompany that budget. So an RCS may be required during option 4. And under option 5, our preservation option, that's properties that have ELIPA or LIPRA use agreement or under the demonstration program. There's a lot of variations for properties under option 5, so we would have to read the plan of action and the use agreement to determine what type of rent increase the property is eligible for, and then from there we would figure out if an RCS is required or not. So hopefully this table will help you determine whether or not your owner needs to submit an RCS. And then the HUD commissioned RCS is now only required when the median rent in the owner's RCS exceeds the mandatory market threshold, which we'll go over later. All right, so preparing the RCS. So sections 9.9 to 9.13 contains a lot of very, very specific guidance as to how to complete an RCS. So are there any appraisers in here? There's no appraisers. Okay, so I am not going to spend a lot of time on these sections. Just know if you work with an appraiser, there are a lot of clarifications made to these sections. So have your appraiser refer to these next time they do a rent comparability study. I do want to point out two new additions. That's Appendix 912AB and 912C. This is one of the biggest and most beneficial changes to come from the revised chapter. These sections provide a huge amount of guidance on how to complete the rent grid, and they also add a lot of transparency as to how HUD reviews the RCS. So what I mean by that is the appendices actually provide guidance on how to complete every single line item in the rent grid, and also provides parameters on how to do the adjustments for every single line item on the rent grid. And by setting these parameters, we're hoping that we'll be more consistent in reviewing the owner's RCS and the HUD RCS. So here's an example of one of the additions. Okay, while there weren't any serious policy changes in Chapter 9, there is a new requirement, and that's the RCS must contain these three pieces of information. They must list the mandatory market thresholds, they must also list the median rent, and then the appraiser must state whether or not the mandatory market threshold exceeds or is lower than the median rent in the RCS. So for example, this is what that should look like. Let's say this is our rent grid. So we have our bedroom types, our number of units, and our contract rent. The appraiser now must include these three pieces of information. So you must list out the median rent, and for this made-up property, it's $1,000. It's going to be, here's our median. And then the second piece of information we need to include is the market threshold, the mandatory market threshold. And in order to find that, you can look up this website, or you can just Google Section 8 Renewal Policy Guidebook, and it should be one of the first pages. And then you're going to click on that link over on the right that says new 140% of census median rent by zip code. An Excel file will open on your computer, and you just look up your property zip code, and right there in the column next to the zip code is the median rent. You take that number and you put that in the rent grid. And then the third piece of information the appraiser must show is whether or not that median rent by zip code number, also known as the mandatory market threshold, is that lower or higher than the median rent. In this case, it's lower, and that means we will need a HUD commissioned RCS. I'm sorry. Okay, and just two pieces of information to remember when completing that table. The 140% has already been applied to the Excel file, so we keep calling the list the 140% median rent by zip code tabulation. The number has already been, the 140% has already been calculated. Please don't multiply that number times 140. And the second piece of information I just want to point out is, please remember average is different than median. Some people have been averaging the rent in owner RCS. Do not do that, use the median. You'll end up with different value. Okay, so what do we do, or how does HUD set final rents when there are two RCSs, both the owner's RCS and the HUD commissioned RCS? You can read this whole thing, or you can use this simplified chart. So if the HUD RCS is greater than the owner's RCS will be used for the final rent setting. If the owner's RCS is greater than the HUD RCS times 105%, so what I mean by that is you take the gross rent potential from the HUD RCS and you multiply it by 1.05. If the owner's RCS is still greater than that value, then the HUD RCS with that 1.05 will be used. And if the owner's RCS is less than the HUD RCS times 1.05, then the owner's RCS will be used in final rent setting. So timeline for RCS submissions. An owner should submit the RCS to the PBCA if there is a PBCA, or to HUD if there is no PBCA, 120 days before the contract expires, or the date that they would like the new HAP to be effective if it's an early termination. So 120 days before the expected start date of the new HAP. And please do not send anything more than 180 days before us. The data in the RCS can get stale, and therefore we won't be able to use it. So submit it to us 120 to 180 days before. All right, timelines for HUD's review of the RCS. So all in all, HUD has 30 days to review the RCS. It goes through a two-step review process. The first step is the initial review, and that's done by a HUD staff, and that should be done within 10 days we receive the RCS. And then after that, there's a substantial screening, and that should be done within approximately 20 days of the initial review being complete. And overall, HUD has 30 days to complete the RCS, to complete reviewing the RCS. And for the initial screening and the substantial screening, the new Chapter 9 contains checklists that we use, and by using these checklists, we should be more consistent in our reviews. And these checklists can be found at the end of Chapter 9. All right, and so before we talked about for option 2, there might be alternatives to the RCS. So in most cases, if an owner is renewing under option 2, an RCS is always required. However, they can meet one of these 2 criteria, and then they will no longer be required to submit an RCS. So the first one is if the owner's current rents are at 75% or below FMR, and the rent increase they're asking for is also at or below 75% FMR, then the owner's RCS is no longer required. The second criteria could be that if you have a property that's partial project-based Section 8 and you have market rents at your property as well, you may be able to use the non-subsidized units at that property to help set the rents for your project-based Section 8 units. And if you want to know if you're eligible for that, there's a whole list of criteria which can be found in Section 96B. And once again, those were all the changes that were made to Chapter 9. There's a lot more clarity and a lot more transparency. So if you're into RCSs, I hope you check it out. And I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Jim Raymond.
Thank you, Sapna. That was very informative. I just wanted to take the time now to talk about 2 things that we have to do this year, having to do with our performance goals that headquarters deems upon us every year. The first one is for the use of our portfolio to take advantage of EPA's Portfolio Manager. So I want to go through a little bit of what the Portfolio Manager could do for you, and urge management agents to sign up their portfolio for the EPA's Portfolio Manager, which is a free service. The goal that we have is, I just wanted to mention that this will be a requirement in the future. It's currently proposed with the Code of Federal Regulations. It's not currently required, but it will be. And I would like to urge you to get ahead of this requirement by signing your projects, signing your portfolio up for this free service that I'll go over. The goal that we have in our region is for 20% of our portfolio to sign up for this service. That's a total of about 766 projects. So far, we only have about 200 projects signed up, so if there's anything that you can do to sign your portfolio up for this service, it would be greatly appreciated by all of your account executives. Just think about that. Think about doing something for your account executives that put you on their radar a little bit, so they would be able to be more apt to maybe possibly give you better customer service. We have been lucky enough to get several management agents to sign their entire portfolios up, including Christian Church Homes, Rural Community Housing and Development Corporation, EAH, Mercy Housing, and Foundation Property Management. So they've already signed up. Thank you very much for that. So they've already been able to sign up their entire portfolio, which is getting us closer to our goal. But I'd like to urge other people, again, to sign up for their portfolio. So what is it, and how can we take advantage of it? Basically what it translates into is a way for you to measure your energy consumption and figure out ways for you to spend, to save money on that consumption. So that would end up equaling lower cost and lower energy expenses, which would mean more money for the management agent and the owner. So what can it do? So once you input information based on your property into the portfolio manager, it is a comparative model that compares your property to other properties in the area to figure out whether or not you are below or above sort of the average energy consumption for properties similar to yours and in similar areas. I just wanted to go through a little bit about the portfolio manager and show you just a quick summary of how to sign up your properties and show you a little bit about what it looks like and what it can do for you as well. So, like I said, it tracks your performance. It's a comparative model. It's something that you can use to gain recognition. And I should mention that upon a refinance with production, if your project is going through a refinance, if you have the Energy Star score of 75 or above, you're actually eligible for a lower MIP of 25 basis points instead of the typical 1%. So it's a way for you to save money on your MIP payments as well when you do a refinance. So when you get started, you're going to need some information for your portfolio, property, area. You're going to need some utility bills to be able to enter into the system. And then you go to the website and add a property. EPA's website, if you have any questions, they have plenty of trainings and examples of PowerPoint presentations. Like I said, click on Add a Property. So I just want to go back. There's basically just 4 steps to register your property. You add the property in the portfolio manager. You select multifamily apartment building. You enter in the minimum amount of information here regarding where the property is, just the address in the area. And then from the utility information that you have, you can enter in meters, energy consumption, waste disposal amounts, and then that's it. You get a property ID that you can email to your account executive or email to me to let me know that you've signed a particular property up for the portfolio manager, and then we go on our way. You are able to go into this system and link it to your utility provider so it can get updated monthly. You can, after a while, when it downloads enough information, you can figure out by the charts and reports that are available on the website where you actually might be spending more energy or less energy than your neighbors, and figure out ways to save money. Like I mentioned, it's also a way to track your Energy Star score, that upon a refinance, if you're considering a refinance with production, you're able to lower your MIP as well. There's plenty of standard reports that are available on the website that you can use as far as tracking information or reporting information to your stakeholders as well. Like I mentioned earlier, there's several resources on EPA's website, including PowerPoint presentations, videos, and tutorials. If you have any questions, it's pretty exhaustive. The next thing I'd like to just mention is, once you do figure out how to save some money on your energy, how can you pay for it? And I would like you to consider the PACE, or the Property Assessed Clean Energy Plan, as a way to pay for energy conservation measures. So, if you're not already familiar with the PACE program, it's a program that allows owners to finance the upfront energy conservation measures, and then repay them over time through special assessments within their tax bills. This is something that can be paid for over 20 years, so the payments should be reasonable when you're compared to the energy savings that you could get for adding energy conservation measures, including fuel cells, insulation, solar hot water, photovoltaics, even seismic upgrades, especially here in California. Also, I should mention, upon a refinance, you're actually able to underwrite a percentage of the savings that you should be anticipating for these energy conservation measures, so it would help you in your underwriting as well. So how does it work? It's a voluntary program. Like I mentioned, there's long-term financing up to 20 years. There's a lien that's filed on the property. The energy products must be permanently affixed to the property. There's plenty of information on the website that I'm going to show you up here in a minute as well. It promotes jobs, it's positive for the environment. You can fund projects for the energy conservation measures without any money out of your own pocket. I urge you to go to this website to find some more information. The program is based on what state your project is in, so there's different programs available depending on what state you're in. California actually has the most programs and funds available. The next goal I want to talk to everybody about is the homeless preference goal. This goal is a little less arduous, but there's not as many projects that were required to get to adopt a homeless preference as the Energy Star portfolio manager, but this one's a little more involved. So this is a way to give individuals that have been homeless, either now or in the past, priority on waiting lists for projects that we have in our portfolio. So Housing Notice 2013-21 was issued back in 2013, and it lists the guidance for giving homeless individuals preference on your waiting lists. The good news is that this can be controlled by you, the owner, and the management agents, depending on the frequency and the amount of individuals that might be able to apply under this guidance. So what we see is management agents using maybe every other or every third vacancy as an opportunity to serve the homeless population. And this can be addressed in your tenant selection plan. So the process is actually stipulated in what we call the Homeless Preference Toolkit, and that's available on our website. And that consists of the steps that are necessary to go through to amend your tenant selection plan, notify your wait list, revise your affirmative fair housing marketing plan, and then you're on your way. Prospective tenants can be pulled from service providers or from people already on your wait list. So people that are already on your wait list might already qualify under this. And I should mention that there is a management fee add-on that's allowed. If you adopt a homeless preference, it can be anywhere from, I think, $2 to $2.50 per unit per annum, or per unit per month. And there's a max, I think it's about $4,500 a year maximum that you're able to add on for your management fee. But in the Homeless Preference Toolkit, there's an example of a tenant selection plan amendment that you can use to adopt a homeless preference. There's a waiting list notification letter that you can use to send out to your waiting list. And then there's a sample MOU that you can use to partner with a service provider if you haven't already, if you don't already have a service provider, sort of working with you. Then you get your approval letter from HUD after you notify your account executive that you have adopted a homeless preference, and then you're able to add on the additional management fee to serve that population. If you have any questions, you can email or call me. Also, when you do sign up your projects for the portfolio manager or do adopt a homeless preference, you can let me know or you can let your account executive know. That's my email and my telephone number. Thanks. Next, I'd like to introduce Bob Dutra, who would like to talk about information. Thank you. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, folks. I have some old business to discuss with you and some new business. The old business is, I think the past 3 or 4 industry meetings, I gave you a presentation on how to find our property assignments on the internet. And I'm not covering that today because Marie Mosway did that for me. But there's a change. It was pointed out that the top list is by state. We have our property assignments by state. At the very bottom of that page, you see something called full list. Full list is all our properties, and they're grouped by management agent. Now, my last industry meeting, I was telling you how to get that data, download it to Excel, and use the Excel filter or the sort feature to find your property. Someone, it could have been Barry, I don't even see Barry today, he's not here. I think someone suggested, well, Bob, why don't you just do that for us before you upload it? And I said, what? Makes sense. So that's what I did. So now, all you have to do, like if you're Barry and you work for, once you work for a bar salon, you just go down to the B's and you see all the bar salon properties together. So it's quick and dirty. All you gotta do is remember how to find that page, and like Marie said, is HUD, multifamily, owners, agents.
San Francisco.
I'm sorry, HUD San Francisco, owners, agents. There you go. Okay. The new business. I got a email, maybe you did too, from Mary Ross this month, talking about a new release to TRAX 2.03-.A. If it weren't for Mary, I would never know this was coming out. You know. Anyway, you're going to release 203A in August 1st. You have 3 months to install it, and it will become mandatory on November 1st. She says they're going to, there are some updates, and they're regarding our favorite system, EIV, or in particular the repayment agreements. Okay, so you all like discrepancy messages on EIV, I know, in transmissions, where you're going to get some more under 203A. For example, this is an example of the changes you can look forward to. If your agreement status is active, but you haven't submitted any transactions greater than $0 in the past 3 months, you're going to get a discrepancy, implying you should be more aggressive in collecting from the residents. On the other hand, if your agreement status is completed, but the balance is greater than 0, you're going to get a discrepancy message. So that one's pretty obvious, I guess. And say the last one here is, if your agreement is other than completed, it's not completed, okay, so it's active, I guess, but the balance equals 0, then you're going to get a discrepancy message. I guess that one's obvious too. Okay, so that comes out, what did I say, August? And mandatory in November. We're also talking about, in HUD are talking about, in a future release of TRAX, we want to identify the properties that have a open waiting list. You know, we get all these requests from people all the time, you know, they want a list of subsidized apartments. And so we send this list, and, you know, we know we're wasting their time and your time because your waiting list is closed. You can't do it. So anyway, what HUD wants to do is to augment that with the status of the waiting list. So as some future release in TRAX, they'll be added to your monthly voucher transmission to IMAX, the status of your waiting list. Now, I doubt if they'll simply be open or closed, because it could be closed, but will open maybe in 6 months. I don't know what. But anyway, as in the talking stages, looking forward to that too. That's all I have. Amanda, we'll close out this session.
Thanks, Bob. All right, so we do have a little bit of time. We've asked for questions. So far we got 1, which I guess means everything was perfectly clear and we're doing everything wonderfully. So if you have any more questions, pass them up. And then, since we do have a little time, we wanted to see if anybody has any industry announcements. Does anybody have any announcements they want to come up and make? Well, you have a wrapped audience. All right. If not, then I'm gonna answer this question. So the question here is Secretary Carson planning to make any visits to California? The answer is I don't know yet. We will share that information when we receive it, but as of today, I have not heard anything about that. And then how do we request for him to visit one of our communities? I would say if you have a specific question about that, let me know. You can send me an email. All of our contact information is in this presentation, and we are going to send it out to our listservs after this meeting. So I know a lot of you have been taking notes and taking pictures, but you don't need to. It'll all be very legible. So we'll send this out. And if you have a specific question about, something to do with Secretary Carson or visiting, or if you want to put something on our radar, just go ahead and send me an email. And then I'm going to hand it over to Marie, who got a question. Oh, we got another question.
Thanks, Alexa. So one of the questions we received was, is there a way to get a receipt confirmation when an owner or agent submits something via sf.incoming@hud.gov? Yes, there is. When we originally set up the mailbox, that was the case. We had a kind of transition to a new office that I think reset that permission in our system, but now you should be getting a receipt when you submit something. So it's an automatic reply saying that we have received your email, and also with a link to the account executive page if you'd like to reach out to your account executive as well. Thanks.
All right, so I got one more question. We got more questions. So yeah, the other question having to do with funding in the new budget, and unfortunately the information I shared about the fiscal year 17 budget is the information we have to share at this time. So the fiscal year 17 budget is still under consideration on the Hill. We're waiting to hear what happens with the new continuing resolution, because we all know that date is coming up. The current CR ends next Friday. So all the information we have is the information we've shared, and we're just as anxious as you, probably even a little more, to find out what's going to happen. So we'll share information as it becomes available. And I think the last question is about RAD 2. So the question is RAD 2 handled entirely by headquarters? So RAD requests are still being processed by the Office of Recapitalization and headquarters. That being said, your starting point, if you have a RAD 2 request, which is a conversion to a project-based voucher under the RETSUP or the RAP program, you could start with your account executive here, and they can guide you through the process, and then it depends where the contract will end up being administered. I think typically if that turns out to be a multifamily project-based voucher, you'll end up back with us. So you'll have one of our account executives here administering the contract. So there still will be some involvement with the Office of Recapitalization and headquarters. They're still involved in all the RAD transactions, but I think if you have a submission and you want to submit it or you have questions, your local account executive is a good place to start. Is there anything else?
This one here.
Good question. Do I just keep checking your website for the new management fee schedule? So like I said, we're going to have that out next month. It's in draft form, and we're just routing it for final concurrence now. We'll send it out to our listservs. So hopefully, I would imagine everyone in this room and everyone watching online is signed up on our mailing list. Hopefully, everybody knows what our listserv is. If not, if you Google, say it together, HUD San Francisco Owners Agents, that'll take you to a page, and there's a link at the bottom that tells you how to sign up for our listserv. So whenever we issue new guidance, like the management fee memo, we'll do an email blast to everybody on that listserv. So if you got the emails about this industry meeting, you will get the emails about the new management fee memo. And if we don't have anything else, thanks everyone. Thank you so much for coming today.